Alright, hello my wonderful students. This is Foldable number 2, and this is graphing the cosine function, or the cosine here. And our parent function we have is y is equal to cosine theta, and the one we're going to be using for the majority of them is going to be y is equal to a cosine b theta. I'll go ahead and go here. Let me zoom in real quick. Alright, so once again, we're going to be graphing our cosine theta. So what we're going to be using is y is equal to a cosine b theta, similar to the sine, except for sine we have cosine here. Alright, so in this one we notice that our a, which is our amplitude, is going to be equal to 1 because there's really nothing here. So we know there's an invisible 1 there. So our a is going to be equal to 1. So we already can see that the distance from, let's just do it here, 1.5, even though it's about that distance because we don't have a thing up there. So it's going to be at 1, it's going to be at -1. So once again, we can go ahead and draw our dotted line to show that this is going to be the distance here from the middle. Now we got to find our period, which the same as sine. It's going to be 2 pi over b, because a normal period of cosine is of 2 pi. And if we notice here that our b is actually 1, so it's going to equal to 2 pi over 1, which is equal to 2 pi. Excuse me. So on this one, we're going to go ahead and draw a unit circle again, so you can kind of see what it looks like. But instead of drawing the full unit circle, once again, we're only going to draw these main 4 points. This one's 0, 1. This one is -1, 0. This one is 0, -1. And once again, this is at 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and then at 2 pi. So once again, our period is 2 pi. Half of 2 pi is going to be pi. Half of pi is going to be pi over 2. And if we follow the pattern, this is going to be here, 3 pi over 2. Alright, so I know on sine we started at 0 because that's where sine is here. But at cosine of 0, it's actually 1. So we're going to actually start up here for cosine. And then we're going to kind of go down the list. So we go from 1 to 0, to -1, to 0, to +1. So our graph is going to look like this. I know you have the tendency of trying to graph straight lines, but do not draw straight lines. You'll lose points on the exam and quizzes. This definitely has to be a nice curve, and it kind of looks like an upside down bell, I guess, kind of a little bit wider to show that. And I know the curve's a little bit less on this side because this point's a little further away, but it's human error is okay as long as it's not just a straight line and a straight line to get to these points. So this one, once again, is going to be our parent function, and we're basically just going to adjust each one from now on to show how the amplitude and the b affects the period for each of the following graphs.